Hey, thanks for watching the channel here at TJRSIM here. If you want some discounts on some awesome sim racing products, check out my link tree here in the description. Discount code for everything that accepts discount codes is TJRSIM. Discount code TJRSIM. Thanks for watching. See you later. What's going on? This is TJR Moto. This is TJRSIM actually, but this will be on the TJR Moto playlist. But today I'm looking at installing this Matris, I think that's how you say it, Matris Steering Damper. This is the one I ended up going with. Has some really good reviews for it for the ZX6R. And you could have went to Ohlins as well. Ohlins is actually really good quality. I've actually had Ohlins forever on all my bikes, whether they came stock or bought them separately. However, this time I just wanted to try something a little bit different. So we're going to install this on this 2026 ZX6R. Now, I noticed any of the other reviews out there or actually installs are a little bit different than this one here. If you want to take a screenshot of the instructions here, but it's actually calling for step one is to go ahead and loosen up these screws here or to remove them, which I did. Step two is to take this one off here. This is actually a 12 mil. So if you want to know, that's an M12. So I had to get a new one here so I could take that one off. And then, of course, you want to torque these all back down afterwards here. And actually, they have some torque numbers here as well. So with that said, the K1 support is this piece here, which will fit like so, it looks like. And ones I've seen before online, they had this piece here and then this piece here. And it was moving within this little area here as a guide. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes as I go to install this. But this is how it goes as far as the pictures go. But what I'll say that is different is that this has a hole in here. It says drill. You have to drill into the stock piece here and install an actual little guide pin that they have here as well. So we'll look at doing that as well. I've seen others that did everything but install the pin. And that's really just a safety feature. It should be to keep this when you have some extreme shakes that you have a guide pin in there to keep it from moving, right, or coming loose. Just an extra safety piece on top of what you're going to be torquing this back down to. So, and this actually, you're still going to reuse your stock nut here. All right, let's get into it. And grab my little torque wrench. Get in there. All right. All right, next step, we'll loosen this puppy up. Remove it. Got a washer here as well. Don't lose the washer. Now it's saying, put that right there. Install this in there, and then drill that. Oops. Install this in here like so. And then you'll pin it there. It doesn't go like that. As you can see, it won't fit in like that, so it has to fit in like this. And you would utilize the stock nut and washer and all that. Now what I've seen most people do is just don't even worry about pinning it. And then just go like that. However, I just want to see if it goes on all just nice, easy and peasy. Yep, it does. Make sure that it's supposed to be up as well. Right here. It's in upward fashion. And they also actually have little extra instructions that show you, which I'll show you here. These upside down. Pay attention to the correct mounting side, which is showing everything upwards, right? So your bolt's going to go through that bottom hole, and spacer is going to go through there. Although it doesn't quite look like what I'm doing here, but to show you, this is pointing up. You got your spacer in there. There's nothing coming from the bottom that they're showing here, so I don't know what the hell this is. The spacer? What spacer? The spacer that's already built in here? I don't know. Unless I'm silly and they're meaning to do it like this. Maybe that's it. Ha-ha. Spacer on the bottom. That's what they're saying to do. Yep, that's the arrangement. That makes more sense now. Cool. Alrighty, so I looked at the instructions here again, and it says replace the original lock nut and washer. Place the K2 support, matching the fork upper plate hole. Drill number 3 hole for a B pin located in reference 4, which is reference 4. It says 8.5 millimeter deep. I don't have a millimeter tape measure, I have a regular tape measure, but I'm going to do something that shows you a little bit easier to do. And oh, and it also says replace the original lock nut without the washer. So we won't actually use this washer underneath, right? Which didn't make sense because then I'd have to drill through the lock washer as well. However, so what I'm going to do as far as the pin is I went ahead and grabbed the pin, inserted it in here until it's flush in there, made sure it was flush, put it in my bolt, and there I see how much pin's sticking out. So that's how much hole I need. So I got a 7/64 bit. That's how deep I need to go. So what I will do is this. Give me some marker here and mark a drill bit so I can see what the heck I'm doing. So that doesn't matter there. So I know basically go to that point, right? And that's just a quick way to figure out how deep to go. Some more exact measuring, right? Drill slow. All right. So I'm also going to set on the bike here. Make sure my bars are straight. And lay this in here. Make sure it's straight. You do have some play with everything, but trying to mark it in here. I don't know if I can get it through that hole. Let's see. No. Oh, a little bit. Go. I will vacuum that out. Put my hole a little bit there. Well, you can't see. I'm going to vacuum. Got that vacuumed out a little bit. I'll test fit my pin into that little hole and my lock nut. Again, just slide this on through. It's a very tight fit. Drill and reamed, drill and reamed. All right. So, yeah, it's definitely stuck there. I'm actually gonna start to tighten it down so I can push that in there. Oops, I missed a hole. Get the hole there. I'm going to use the nut to hopefully, maybe, tighten it down. But nope, that didn't work. I'll have to bang it in. All right, just to show you what I did, you have to kind of bang this sucker in there. So I got a pretty tight hole on there, 7/64 or 03 hole. And just grab a little extension tool here and a hammer. Doesn't that seem odd to do to your new bike, you know? There we go. Nice and flush. Get her done. Focus. There we go. Got a little paint. I was trying to mark it with the yellow paint, and I got a little bit everywhere, so I'll just wipe that out. Some WD-40. Alrighty, so got this bolt tightened down. 80 Newton meters is what it calls for online, at least with this torque wrench actually. And we're good there. I would say the one thing I had a problem with is getting this bolt to reline up correctly with using this sleeve. And so what I ended up doing was drilling out the pinhole a little bit more to give it a little bit more slack in there, so it could self-align, so I don't end up stripping anything. So that was just one note I will point out. You may have to drill that hole out because it was just hanging up on the inner hole of this bracket. So, but all right, moving on. All right, next is pretty unclear instructions of what to do, but looks like we take M6 bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. Somehow you magically put this on. Going like that. All right, scratch that bar-to-bar stuff. So what I noticed is since I had loosened this up, and you got it straight right here, you know, obviously this is moving around. You can go bar to bar, and you don't really want this all the way up like that. You want it kind of this way with it moving, but obviously you don't want this to be moving. So you want to make sure you center it up here and then tighten it down before you before you decide your final spot here. Okay, let me see. Nope, not quite right. So it doesn't have to, it can't be quite in the center then. It has to be maybe, that's to that bar. That's to that bar. So I bet, yeah, there we go. Actually, that's the easiest way of doing it. So just have it just slightly loose here. We're learning as we're going here. It's the first time I ever installed one of these. But yeah, go bar to bar. Keep it snug a little bit, but enough to where it will slide around when you go bar to bar, because you don't want to bend this. So pay a lot of money for these parts, so you got to be perfect. So now I will tighten it down. Snug. There's a bug in a rug. So that's what's nice about doing the prefab. So now we can go bar to bar. Oops, get my camera up higher. Now we can go bar to bar, no problemo. All right, so now I'll pull those screws off, put the rubbers on, and then yeah, go from there. Take this M5. Now I am adjusted correctly. That baby right there. You couldn't see, but I put the washer in there. Slide that through. And actually, before I do that, we got to use our good old friend Blue. Almost forgot old Blue. All right, same with this other one. Oops, need 3 hands sometimes. All right, lift this off here. Put the washer there. I know you can't quite see as good as me because it's all black parts, but trust me, I just put the little rubber damper in there. Pull up on this a little bit because I want to make sure I'm not cross-threading anything. Tighten these down. Just double check, make sure I can go bar to bar still. I can. And then we will torque those down. What does it say to torque them down to? M6s, those are 10 Newton meters. Booyah, baby. Does this one go that low? Let me see. It does not go that low. I'll grab my other torque wrench. All right, grab my other torque wrench here. We're at 0. Good. If you're wondering what socket set I'm using here, I'll leave a link in the description for Amazon link, but Cleed, I guess it is. These are supposed to be for impact ready. Obviously, small 1/4 inch ones, you would never need to use the impact for it, but that is the brand I was using. And then Lexifon torque wrenches. I actually don't really care for these torque wrenches that much. They look neat. They actually work fine. It's just, I say I don't care for them, but I haven't trusted them yet. But they actually do work really well. That is about 10 foot-pounds, or 10 Newton meters of torque. So you got those torqued down, easy peasy. Everything's good. I don't know that they have to torque those down. It didn't say to. So snugging them up should be fine. I have it, but let me grab the other one. What is this one right here? I'm going to do the same. These, well, it's quite a bit tight. I don't know that this is actually needs to be 10 Newton meters, but I'd imagine something a little bit less. Oh, that's inch pounds. And a much smaller screw. Around 6. We're just winging it here, man. They didn't say. Yep, 6. Got like an engine bolt. So pretty cool. All right, let me take this off here. Strong magnet. All right, so there you have it. I hope this was educational for you. This is a pretty easy install, honestly, after I think back on it, but there's a few hiccups with this, and that's because that one, you got to drill your drill out for your pinhole. Reason you want to do that is if you ever do go into a really hard head shake, you have that safety pin in there to keep this from rolling underneath the torque. So think about a tire on your rim. You can roll your tire on your rim with enough torque because you get so much traction with it on track conditions. And say you're running a slick. Same thing, you can get enough torque to where you could actually even shear that pin with this going back and forth. However, you would hope to have this set up a little bit high enough where it would slow it down, but that torque forces somewhere, right? The torque's got to go somewhere. So it's going to go into the steering head right here. And all you have is the torque of your steering head, so make sure you torque that down properly. And then also that extra pin there, that's that dowel pin right there. And so that's your only extra safety device. So I'm not sure I really like that design as much. I think the O-rings, I think these actually underneath here, they are, nope, that's not it. I saw somewhere, let me see if we can get it in the camera. No, they're not there, but I saw one of the models, they had some holes already pre-drilled in here for the O-rings and stuff. But drop a comment on the O-rings if you think the O-rings actually would be a little bit stronger in a, say, a head shake. But for now, I'm going to run with this one. I'll let you know how I like it once they get it on the track with it and whether it's working as well or not. Time will tell, of course. But these bikes don't come with a steering dampener for some reason. I don't know why. It makes no sense, especially since they're catering this bike to be more of a track bike. So it should already have one. Throw in an extra $500 to the sticker and have it pre-installed from factory would be great. But anyway, it is what it is. Again, subscribe to keep up and be on the track. I'm out.